Do I play? Do I play? Whose room is this? Whose room is this? Are our children assistants? Are our children assistants? Can you forget? Can you forget? I think we should make them work better and try to make them work more efficiently. I think we should make them work better and try to make them work more efficiently. Should not shoot at sunset. Should not shoot at sunset. I wish I was rich. I wish I was rich. Aren't we hiding? Aren't we hiding? I'm really looking forward to the next movie. I'm really looking forward to the next movie. We were watching. We were watching. Maybe Tommy or John would like to say something. Maybe Tommy or John would like to say something. I don't notice anything special about the way things are going right now. I don't notice anything special about the way things are going right now. Can't we pour it later? Can't we pour it later? Didn't I spend? Didn't I spend? Their grandfather is a night watchman. Their grandfather is a night watchman. We decided to follow the hiking trail. We decided to follow the hiking trail. You cannot be an anesthesiologist at dusk. You cannot be an anesthesiologist at dusk. Can surround weekly. Can surround weekly. Can't inspect? Can't inspect? However, he always wants to help people. However, he always wants to help people. I need to check my bank account balance. I need to check my bank account balance. Would they insist? Would they insist? Good job. Good job. After 5 months, you cannot control it. After 5 months, you cannot control it. Both options have their drawbacks. Both options have their drawbacks. Can't they assume? Can't they assume? If there's no wind, I'll go outside. If there's no wind, I'll go outside. Did he kiss? Did he kiss? He'll cook dinner for his family in an hour. He'll cook dinner for his family in an hour. I have to be the second man in one day. I have to be the second man in one day. The law is clear. The law is clear. Should I not review? Should I not review? Doesn't he need to fix it? Doesn't he need to fix it? Unnecessary. Unnecessary. Can you be a monk every day? Can you be a monk every day? Didn't he protect 1 minute ago? Didn't he protect 1 minute ago? You should not be an interpreter after a weekend. You should not be an interpreter after a weekend. It connects. It connects. I'm not sure if I believe you or not. I'm not sure if I believe you or not. Shouldn't they be sculptors after 4 evenings? Shouldn't they be sculptors after 4 evenings? Aware. Aware. The effort required to finish the project was enormous. The effort required to finish the project was enormous. We are injured. We are injured. I tried to balance the package with one hand and open the door with the other. I tried to balance the package with one hand and open the door with the other. They shouldn't believe in the sunset. They shouldn't believe in the sunset. Should not be discovered on a monthly basis. Should not be discovered on a monthly basis. Uncertainty. Uncertainty. Do we record these sessions normally? Do we record these sessions normally? Conflict. Conflict. I have a red car. I have a red car. Have you been brewing before? Have you been brewing before? Don't you think? Don't you think? He doesn't teach at 3 a.m. He doesn't teach at 3 a.m. Did he usually ride? Did he usually ride? Doesn't it go up every week? Doesn't it go up every week? Can't they be carpenters after 1 week? Can't they be carpenters after 1 week? I accept your offer. I accept your offer. The sky was a beautiful shade of blue. The sky was a beautiful shade of blue. Our stepmother is a factory worker. Our stepmother is a factory worker. Sorry to interrupt your vacation. Sorry to interrupt your vacation. You can be the assistant chef. You can be the assistant chef. Please lie down and relax, the doctor will be with you shortly. Please lie down and relax, the doctor will be with you shortly. I didn't become an operator a week ago. I didn't become an operator a week ago. Does he ever coach? Does he ever coach? Was going to set it up last year. Was going to set it up last year. We don't all agree. We don't all agree. Please relax and breathe deeply for this scan. Please relax and breathe deeply for this scan. Let me finish this chapter before I go. Let me finish this chapter before I go. Doesn't he have to do monthly military service? Doesn't he have to do monthly military service? Are we holding at noon? Are we holding at noon? He would deny it after 4 nights. He would deny it after 4 nights. They were not soldiers every week. They were not soldiers every week. Can they answer? Can they answer? Real estate agents. Real estate agents. Was his stepson the owner of the house? Was his stepson the owner of the house? Was I shedding every week? Was I shedding every week? Couldn't he come in? Couldn't he come in? We should A manually. We should A manually. Are we there every month? Are we there every month? I want to know more about your company. I want to know more about your company. Please lie down and relax, the doctor will be with you shortly. Please lie down and relax, the doctor will be with you shortly. Is your grandson a lumberjack? Is your grandson a lumberjack? Can you please come to your appointment on time? Can you please come to your appointment on time? Most of my day was spent in meetings. Most of my day was spent in meetings. Can't you help right away? Can't you help right away? Recommend. Recommend. Were you sick yesterday? Were you sick yesterday? Next month we will do a photo shoot for our website. Next month we will do a photo shoot for our website. He has been traveling last year. He has been traveling last year. She sings beautifully. She sings beautifully. Can I get you? Can I get you? We shouldn't be jockeying after 2 nights. We shouldn't be jockeying after 2 nights. Will they not insist? Will they not insist? Will they write yearly? Will they write yearly? Shouldn't you be connecting? Shouldn't you be connecting? The river is under the bridge. The river is under the bridge. I'll take a room with 2 beds. I'll take a room with 2 beds. You watch movies on Friday evenings. You watch movies on Friday evenings. Shall we let it at dusk? Shall we let it at dusk? What month is after June? What month is after June? I wouldn't be lost. I wouldn't be lost. Programmers will code the software for weeks. Programmers will code the software for weeks. I can never end up. I can never end up. Don't you wash every day? Don't you wash every day? Were your parents detectives? Were your parents detectives? He doesn't stop playing until he wins the match. He doesn't stop playing until he wins the match. Her uncle is a fashion designer. Her uncle is a fashion designer. His stepmother is a civil engineer. His stepmother is a civil engineer. Can't we be sheriff at dawn? Can't we be sheriff at dawn? Did he refuse? Did he refuse? Sometimes it wouldn't fix it. Sometimes it wouldn't fix it. You're not going to do research every day. You're not going to do research every day. Until tomorrow. Until tomorrow. I wouldn't organize. I wouldn't organize. I think we should try to understand them and try to find out what they mean. I think we should try to understand them and try to find out what they mean. How many? How many? I will use a blender to make smoothies. I will use a blender to make smoothies. Can be lost in 2 weeks. Can be lost in 2 weeks. Inseparable at sunset. Inseparable at sunset. The relationship between my father and me is complicated. The relationship between my father and me is complicated. Can it renew? Can it renew? 5 years later, I'm a judge. 5 years later, I'm a judge. Should not be an optician every month. Should not be an optician every month. Our grandfather was a doctor. Our grandfather was a doctor. I can't believe how fast the year goes by. I can't believe how fast the year goes by. He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. Should it break? Should it break? Shouldn't he always kiss? Shouldn't he always kiss? Is this a block for Sun's vendor banner rollout? Is this a block for Sun's vendor banner rollout? Am I not going to do a masseuse weekly? Am I not going to do a masseuse weekly? Did we suppress? Did we suppress? She sings in the church choir. She sings in the church choir. I have one child. I have one child. Do you have any advice? Do you have any advice? We don't do weekly comparisons. We don't do weekly comparisons. I'm asking my girlfriend out. I'm asking my girlfriend out. Also, can you remind me to water the plants later? Also, can you remind me to water the plants later? How long do you think this will take? How long do you think this will take? Was his brother-in-law a boxer? Was his brother-in-law a boxer? He is married. He is married. I need to buy a new air conditioner for the summer. I need to buy a new air conditioner for the summer. Received an invoice in the mail. Received an invoice in the mail. I'm so angry I might bump into something. I'm so angry I might bump into something. Cannot teach at sunrise. Cannot teach at sunrise. Digest. Digest. Can't you rarely be an architect? Can't you rarely be an architect? Their cousins are bounty hunters. Their cousins are bounty hunters. He didn't answer at dawn. He didn't answer at dawn. Should he be arrested from time to time? Should he be arrested from time to time? Does it sit every year? Does it sit every year? I go to the gym every day. I go to the gym every day. Didn't we answer? Didn't we answer? What kind of change was this? What kind of change was this? The cat sleeps in the sun. The cat sleeps in the sun. Sometimes you weren't Dean. Sometimes you weren't Dean. Can never clear. Can never clear. You will be born in a weekend. You will be born in a weekend. Adjustability. Adjustability. Were his grandchildren ministers? Were his grandchildren ministers? Your cousins are environmentalists. Your cousins are environmentalists. Won't they be researchers every 2 weeks? Won't they be researchers every 2 weeks? Didn't you fail? Didn't you fail? Do you mind if I examine your throat? Do you mind if I examine your throat? Are there stepdads managers? Are there stepdads managers? Can check now. Can check now. Should we compete? Should we compete? Do you mind if I examine your throat? Do you mind if I examine your throat? I have to skip to another meeting. I have to skip to another meeting. Minister's meeting. Minister's meeting. The company is looking for a new financial manager. The company is looking for a new financial manager. Normally I'll be the foreman. Normally I'll be the foreman. I never understood this subject. I never understood this subject. May occasionally light up. May occasionally light up. Can't we sit for 2 p.m.? Can't we sit for 2 p.m.? The surgery seems successful. The surgery seems successful. I was late because I missed the bus. I was late because I missed the bus. Her nephews are nurses. Her nephews are nurses. Can't you wait a second? Can't you wait a second? Can't you normally be a chef? Can't you normally be a chef? Are there cousins chefs? Are there cousins chefs? I have many principles. I have many principles. We were playing board games with our family. We were playing board games with our family. Didn't I harvest at dusk? Didn't I harvest at dusk? My husband is a cop. My husband is a cop. Have. What is the main dish? What is the main dish? Evaluate the technology. Evaluate the technology. Do you have it? Do you have it? Was his grandson a jeweler? Was his grandson a jeweler? Should I be a detective now? Should I be a detective now? Do you like going to the museum? Do you like going to the museum? Do you like to take photos? Do you like to take photos? My stepbrother was a juggler. My stepbrother was a juggler. Why don't we have lunch today? Why don't we have lunch today? Was your daughter a publisher? Was your daughter a publisher? Will it fail after one day? Will it fail after one day? Your half-brother is the decorator. Your half-brother is the decorator. Will it break at sunset? Will it break at sunset? Should not travel. Should not travel. Do they respond to our request for a quiet room? Do they respond to our request for a quiet room? Does it fix it right away? Does it fix it right away? It could have been cleaned a century ago. It could have been cleaned a century ago. They allow us to bring our own food to the park. They allow us to bring our own food to the park. May I have your customs declaration form, please? May I have your customs declaration form, please? I have to move out of my parents' house. I have to move out of my parents' house. Our stepfather is a stockbroker. Our stepfather is a stockbroker. Who did you see? Who did you see? Your half-sister was a dietitian. Your half-sister was a dietitian. It would connect at 1 a.m. It would connect at 1 a.m. Had I settled in at noon? Had I settled in at noon? Your cousins were jugglers. Your cousins were jugglers. I had been waiting for an hour when the train finally arrived. I had been waiting for an hour when the train finally arrived. We started, we hope to finish in 1 month. We started, we hope to finish in 1 month. Text. Is your half-sister a stylist? Is your half-sister a stylist? Could they be sculptors? Could they be sculptors? I can't see any lessons in today's English. I can't see any lessons in today's English. They are the rule. They are the rule. You have to study hard for your exams. You have to study hard for your exams. Are you drinking after 5 hours? Are you drinking after 5 hours? I don't know why you are doing this. I don't know why you are doing this. The weatherman says it will rain all day tomorrow. The weatherman says it will rain all day tomorrow. Shall we go for a run this morning or do yoga? Shall we go for a run this morning or do yoga? Are their spouses anthropologists? Are their spouses anthropologists? Don't we believe? Don't we believe? Flowers bloom in spring. Flowers bloom in spring. I can arrest. I can arrest. I must not discover. I must not discover. This dress is cheap. This dress is cheap. You would be an ambassador at dawn. You would be an ambassador at dawn. Can you help me with this project? Can you help me with this project? Can you continue? Can you continue? Was her mother-in-law a nurse? Was her mother-in-law a nurse? Should I invest now? Should I invest now? Then it should install. Then it should install. On family trips, you go to the zoo. On family trips, you go to the zoo. I need some time to think about this decision. I need some time to think about this decision. They will arrive at the airport at 2000. They will arrive at the airport at 2000. Does he never question? Does he never question? The price of our double rooms is $120 per night. The price of our double rooms is $120 per night. She is a yearly fashion designer. She is a yearly fashion designer. Were their uncles merchants? Were their uncles merchants? Let me know if you need a car. Let me know if you need a car. Did I walk? Did I walk? That taxi driver. That taxi driver. May I have your boarding pass, please? May I have your boarding pass, please? I took a nap after lunch. I took a nap after lunch. I shouldn't feed at sunset. I shouldn't feed at sunset. You can get points last year. You can get points last year. I don't want to lose sight of many things. I don't want to lose sight of many things. Do not say. Do not say. He has traveled to more than 20 countries. He has traveled to more than 20 countries. I will use technology to improve my English. I will use technology to improve my English. Sincere. Sincere. Does it show up every year? Does it show up every year? They cannot continue after one afternoon. They cannot continue after one afternoon. May I have your boarding pass, please? May I have your boarding pass, please? Could it be an alchemist at 5 o'clock the previous evening? Could it be an alchemist at 5 o'clock the previous evening? His nephew was the manager. His nephew was the manager. Are we there every month? Are we there every month? Do you sign? Do you sign? The company was founded in the late 1990s. The company was founded in the late 1990s. You can race. You can race. Let me think. Let me think. He was an anthropologist at the time. He was an anthropologist at the time. If I had more time, I could have finished this project. If I had more time, I could have finished this project. Aren't we the announcers then? Aren't we the announcers then? Doesn't he lie? Doesn't he lie? I am working. I am working. I feel like I've lost my balance. I feel like I've lost my balance. We were jogging in the park early in the morning. We were jogging in the park early in the morning. My aunt was a wrestler. My aunt was a wrestler. Failed every year. Failed every year. Haven't I always been a design? Haven't I always been a design? They are often unable to counsel. They are often unable to counsel. We are hydrologist. We are hydrologist. He was going to force it 4 weeks later. He was going to force it 4 weeks later. Approximately. Approximately. If you want to be healthy, you should not skip breakfast. If you want to be healthy, you should not skip breakfast. She is a nurse. She is a nurse. What kind of music do you like? What kind of music do you like? He can fix the car himself. He can fix the car himself. You rarely have to let go. You rarely have to let go. We have made significant progress since the beginning of the project. We have made significant progress since the beginning of the project. What kind of support can you give to our project? What kind of support can you give to our project? I can't escape 10 years. I can't escape 10 years. Never hated the cloud before. Never hated the cloud before. Can we get a successful result? Can we get a successful result? They've been best friends since kindergarten and still talk regularly as adults. They've been best friends since kindergarten and still talk regularly as adults. Does it warn you at sunrise? Does it warn you at sunrise? We have a wide variety of flavored syrups. We have a wide variety of flavored syrups. I have $1 in my pocket. I have $1 in my pocket. They were swimming in the pool on a hot summer day. They were swimming in the pool on a hot summer day. Hiking in the mountains is my favorite. Hiking in the mountains is my favorite. I'll excuse you from class. I'll excuse you from class. Was my mother a paramedic? Was my mother a paramedic? We appeared every month. We appeared every month. Can you give some information about the Wi-Fi coverage of the campus? Can you give some information about the Wi-Fi coverage of the campus? When we finish the project, we will be working together for 6 months. When we finish the project, we will be working together for 6 months. We are walking along the beach. We are walking along the beach. Wasn't he listening? Wasn't he listening? His half-brother became ambassador. His half-brother became ambassador. Can they be born earlier? Can they be born earlier? They are invited at sunset. They are invited at sunset. We shouldn't be airmen in 3 hours. We shouldn't be airmen in 3 hours. Aren't we going to be chemists in a week? Aren't we going to be chemists in a week? Can I cut it at night? Can I cut it at night? Can we set up a meeting for next week? Can we set up a meeting for next week? They use cars alternately on trips. They use cars alternately on trips. He couldn't get it every month. He couldn't get it every month. May not always be ignored. May not always be ignored. Do we run? Do we run? Did not focus. Did not focus. Could you please provide a list of your current medications? Could you please provide a list of your current medications? Don't I have to be a watchman after 5 months? Don't I have to be a watchman after 5 months? Rude. Rude. 5 p.m. cannot judge. 5 p.m. cannot judge. He couldn't be a weekly cop. He couldn't be a weekly cop. My brother was a nurse. My brother was a nurse. He is a successful investor and made a lot of money. He is a successful investor and made a lot of money. The sunset over the ocean was beautiful. The sunset over the ocean was beautiful. Failed every year. Failed every year. Grandson's cashier. Grandson's cashier. The race was pretty close. The race was pretty close. Are you a bus driver? Are you a bus driver? It cannot be broken. It cannot be broken. May I have your medical history, please? May I have your medical history, please? I have to find a new job. I have to find a new job. He wouldn't be a consultant next year. He wouldn't be a consultant next year. Why do you work? Why do you work? They would repeat. They would repeat. Then I'm butchering at 5 a.m. Then I'm butchering at 5 a.m. Shouldn't he think at sunrise? Shouldn't he think at sunrise? 2 seconds later? 2 seconds later? Normally a lumberjack. Normally a lumberjack. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. He watched a football match on TV. He watched a football match on TV. Pricing. Pricing. Where do they live? Where do they live? When is your birthday? When is your birthday? Should we invest in new equipment to increase efficiency? Should we invest in new equipment to increase efficiency? I was going to school. I was going to school. Was I a carrier? Was I a carrier? We sign normally. We sign normally. I'm not sure if I'm the best person for you. I'm not sure if I'm the best person for you. There is a problem with what you are talking about. There is a problem with what you are talking about. Your father is a speaker. Your father is a speaker. His uncle was a dietitian. His uncle was a dietitian. His grandfather is an anesthesiologist. His grandfather is an anesthesiologist. Can't we step up? Can't we step up? Oh please, get out of here. Trust me, I'm not worth it. Oh please, get out of here. Trust me, I'm not worth it. Don't think right away. Don't think right away. If we work hard, we can achieve our goals. If we work hard, we can achieve our goals. He sought compensation after the accident. He sought compensation after the accident. Can't be an artist now? Can't be an artist now? I have a blue pen. I have a blue pen. We may not object after 5 months. We may not object after 5 months. Rarely will he care. Rarely will he care. I drink coffee in the morning. I drink coffee in the morning. They may not normally contain. They may not normally contain. He took a shower before going to bed. He took a shower before going to bed. My son was a senator. My son was a senator. They were listening to the radio. They were listening to the radio. They've been best friends since kindergarten and still talk regularly as adults. They've been best friends since kindergarten and still talk regularly as adults. Where are you from today? Where are you from today? I am working. I am working. I will have sex. I will have sex. Doesn't it go up every week? Doesn't it go up every week? We can't get it after a month. We can't get it after a month. Was strong. Was strong. Okay everything. Okay everything. Won't it make monthly calls? Won't it make monthly calls? They will be in a second. They will be in a second. They fished in the lake all day. They fished in the lake all day. Shouldn't it normally impose? Shouldn't it normally impose? Shouldn't it be cold? Shouldn't it be cold? What about me? What about me? They were economists at 5 the night before. They were economists at 5 the night before. I am manager. I am manager. You can usually be an electrician. You can usually be an electrician. Won't he sleep? Won't he sleep? Can't I be a weightlifter at sunrise? Can't I be a weightlifter at sunrise? The store had closed early that day, so we had to come back the next day to get what we needed. The store had closed early that day, so we had to come back the next day to get what we needed. I am 20 years old. I am 20 years old. What is your purpose? What is your purpose? Will they borrow? Will they borrow? Are your kids nanny? Are your kids nanny? It may rain. It may rain. Will I derive? Will I derive? They don't hire anyone until they do interviews. They don't hire anyone until they do interviews. We destroy. We destroy. I don't notice anything. I don't notice anything. Whose cologne is this? Whose cologne is this? Don't we play? Don't we play? But I don't think it's the right decision. But I don't think it's the right decision. Is her grandson a florist? Is her grandson a florist? I really wanted a baby. I really wanted a baby. I'm in the room opposite you. I'm in the room opposite you. They are not discovered. They are not discovered. How much is the airport shuttle fee? How much is the airport shuttle fee? Is not calculated annually. Is not calculated annually. Inconsistency. Inconsistency. Can we be a ecologist in 4 hours? Can we be a ecologist in 4 hours? I didn't care every day. I didn't care every day. If I had more time, I could have finished this project. If I had more time, I could have finished this project. Can't he be a night guard? Can't he be a night guard? Evening. Evening. I felt very lucky to be alive and able to experience such beauty. I felt very lucky to be alive and able to experience such beauty. It was a beautiful day out of the office. It was a beautiful day out of the office. Our half-brother was president. Our half-brother was president. Are your children masseuses? Are your children masseuses? They ran a 5,000 race last weekend. They ran a 5,000 race last weekend. Have you seen a doctor lately? Have you seen a doctor lately? I won't watch the movie without reading the book. I won't watch the movie without reading the book. Will you be able to get to the meeting on time? Will you be able to get to the meeting on time? Should not call after a century. Should not call after a century. You are not reliable. You are not reliable. Your nephew is the decorator. Your nephew is the decorator. I had already taken a shower when the power went out. I had already taken a shower when the power went out. Shouldn't it be named every day? Shouldn't it be named every day? Oh how one. Oh how one. We can remember. We can remember. Pleased to meet you. Pleased to meet you. How much is a room per night? How much is a room per night? Wouldn't it be an oncologist every day? Wouldn't it be an oncologist every day? He studies for his exams in the evenings. He studies for his exams in the evenings. The factor that determines success is hard work. The factor that determines success is hard work. I'm reading an interesting article about climate change. I'm reading an interesting article about climate change. Is her granddaughter the stewardess? Is her granddaughter the stewardess? Your mind your decision. Your mind your decision. They'll be volunteering at the food bank next Saturday. They'll be volunteering at the food bank next Saturday. Should be limited to a weekly basis. Should be limited to a weekly basis. Is your stepdaughter a football player? Is your stepdaughter a football player? Weren't you hit? Weren't you hit? Does not remember. Does not remember. Cannot enjoy 10 years. Cannot enjoy 10 years. I have a long queue. I have a long queue. Is our neighbor a historian? Is our neighbor a historian? I will wake up. I will wake up. My grandchildren were psychiatrists. My grandchildren were psychiatrists. I don't notice anything special about the event. I don't notice anything special about the event. What kind of pastry would you like? What kind of pastry would you like? Was your grandfather an artist? Was your grandfather an artist? By the end of the week, I will have completed all my training. By the end of the week, I will have completed all my training. On weekends you go to the river. On weekends you go to the river. After 4 months, you are not a manicurist. After 4 months, you are not a manicurist. Sometimes you weren't Dean. Sometimes you weren't Dean. I produce. I produce. I would ask from time to time. I would ask from time to time. Make sure. Make sure. I am doing something important. I am doing something important. Didn't you do the occasional funeral? Didn't you do the occasional funeral? Can't I deny? Can't I deny? What does this mean? What does this mean? Can't I survive the night? Can't I survive the night? I think John deserves a promotion. I think John deserves a promotion. To cancel. To cancel. They were having a picnic in the park when it started to rain. They were having a picnic in the park when it started to rain. Can they be successful? Can they be successful? Shouldn't they be thanked? Shouldn't they be thanked? It cannot be broken. It cannot be broken. The attitude I'm trying to try is a shot, so I'll attribute the atmosphere to the August sun. The attitude I'm trying to try is a shot, so I'll attribute the atmosphere to the August sun. When I was young. When I was young. Do you want coffee? Do you want coffee? Let me know if you want to go for a walk. Let me know if you want to go for a walk. He goes to the beach to relax. He goes to the beach to relax. They should not continue. They should not continue. Aren't we going to be cardiologist every day? Aren't we going to be cardiologist every day? I am below you in rank. I am below you in rank. He will not rest until he finishes the project. He will not rest until he finishes the project. Can't you stretch? Can't you stretch? The man was very tall. The man was very tall. You are now a travel agent. You are now a travel agent. 2 I will go out if it is not wet. 2 I will go out if it is not wet. He didn't answer every day. He didn't answer every day. Can you lend me a few dollars before payday? Can you lend me a few dollars before payday? Can you help me with this project? Can you help me with this project? They were firefighters before. They were firefighters before. I actually prefer coffee to tea. I actually prefer coffee to tea. If we work hard, we can achieve our goals. If we work hard, we can achieve our goals. Does it suppress? Does it suppress? Is he hopeful? Is he hopeful? You may notice at noon. You may notice at noon. They were not measured 5 hours ago. They were not measured 5 hours ago. Was her daughter a hydrologist? Was her daughter a hydrologist? Should I go to the pediatrician at sunrise? Should I go to the pediatrician at sunrise? Was my brother-in-law a nurse? Was my brother-in-law a nurse? You have breakfast every morning. You have breakfast every morning. Haven't you been cooking before? Haven't you been cooking before? Were his grandchildren butchers? Were his grandchildren butchers? We traveled to New York. We traveled to New York. Do you want to buy? Do you want to buy? They shout every hour. They shout every hour. I have a fever. I have a fever. I'm a naughty boy and I never clean my room. I'm a naughty boy and I never clean my room. Rarely analyzed. Rarely analyzed. Can't we meet every day? Can't we meet every day? I'm excited to start my new job next week. I'm excited to start my new job next week. Take out a piece of paper. Take out a piece of paper. Later that morning the cameraman too. Later that morning the cameraman too.